Hi, I'm Cameron Esposito. I'm a stand-up comic and major celebrity. I'm very good at my job, okay.
Teachers, mothers, mentors, and guides. The extraordinary women of the Hello Sunshine Together live tour share authentic and heartfelt stories with the people who inspire them most. In Story Scouts.
Hey, I'm Cameron Esposito. I'm a stand-up comic, actor, writer, podcaster. I've been performing all over the country. I'm a headliner.
Stand-up comic, Midwesterner, also giant lesbian, obviously. I didn't know I was gay for a very long time because I didn't know gay people were real. I thought gays and leprechauns were mythical creatures for parades.
I am from Chicago originally. That's where my heart is. And when I was recently in Chicago, I had the opportunity to have a couple different organizations on stage with me during my show talking about the work that they do. And somebody that I met there is this wonderful person, Ymani Rupert Gordon. She is the executive director of Affinity Community Services, an organization that works on the south side of Chicago. And Imani's one of those people who is doing the day-to-day work that keeps our families safe. And I want you to have a chance to hear a little bit more about what she does. I went to social work grad school at the same place you went to social work grad school. I just didn't finish it.
Yes.
You went to the University of Chicago?
I did, yes.
SSA, what's up? Was that always your focus, working for queer folks, for LGBT folks?
Not exactly, not exclusively. You know, when I graduated, I actually wanted to be a social worker and I wanted to do therapy. And, you know, there are intersectional issues as a queer person that informed a lot of the work that I was doing. And then when I went to grad school, I really did want to spend some time focusing specifically on LGBTQ community, intersections of those communities as well, but I was specifically looking for LGBTQ communities to work in.
I've always been interested in the same thing, which is community, bringing people together and talking about what really matters. And I thought that I would follow this path into being a therapist. I wanted to be a priest before that, but throughout all of that, I just started doing improv in college, and I just didn't see it as a career. So I just thought this was a thing that you do at night after you do your other job. And then a person that I went to social work school with, I literally don't even remember this woman's name, and she was like, I know you do comedy, and I just have to say, comedy actually feels like if you focused on that might be smart. And she was totally right. So wow. I just took this woman's advice. I don't remember your name. But I dropped out of school. And
wow.
Thanks, nameless lady.
I had to wear an eye patch for 8 years of my childhood because I had crossed eyes. So there's probably no particular reason why I'm funny.
Something that I think is extremely important to do is to create bridges between all the different members in the LGBT community. I felt like it was very important for us to talk about how we can bring those communities closer together. So what is the work that you're doing right now?
So I'm the executive director for Affinity Community Services, and we are a social justice organization, and we work with the entire LGBTQ community, but we have a specific emphasis on Black LGBTQ women. And Affinity was started because there was a group of LGBTQ Black women that didn't see themselves or their needs represented in the larger LGBTQ community.
Right.
I think everyone wants to feel seen and wants to feel like other people are like them, and so that's the work that we do.
This is really important for everyone to see the real diversity that actually exists in our country.
Yes.
So yeah.
Actually, my folks are here. What's up, Dad? Cool to see you. He's very comfortable around women. So am I. So my point is,
I was emerging, I was starting to do stand-up, and when I thought about queer folks, I really thought about Boys Town, the neighborhood in Chicago that would be the gay neighborhood if you were looking at a tourist guide to Chicago,
right.
So that's what I thought it was, right? And then a couple years later, when I wanted to figure out where to watch The L Word, I learned about Andersonville, because that's where queer women were, right?
Right.
But that's all North Side stuff.
Right.
So a couple years into my stand-up career, this awesome comic named Karen Williams, who was a pioneering lesbian comic, she was coming through town. She asked me to open for her at a place called Jokes and Notes, which is an awesome and long-running comedy club on the South Side. Mostly Black comics, mostly Black audience. So I go down there to open for Karen Williams. It's sold out all weekend. And there's 250 Black lesbians, and I literally had to just start the first show by being like, I am so sorry. I have to tell you, I did not know you existed. Like, I did not know that there were like 1,000, you know, because we had like 4 shows or whatever, they were all sold out. Like, how did I miss all of this? Like, I just didn't know. And then of course I realized, like, yeah, Cam, like, you know, this is Chicago, things are really racially segregated. And I really think that there are probably a lot of other queer folks that go to those 2 neighborhoods that I talked about that see mostly white people there that think that, like, in Chicago, the queer community is mostly white.
Right. And that's why we have to be intersectional in the ways that we do everything. Because if we're not intersectional, we are only gonna be talking about white folks, you know?
If you're somebody who thinks about the queer community as family, which I really do, you have to get to know your whole family. You know, you can't just stop at the folks that are in the room that you're at. And so, like, that is what I am trying to do a better job of, is just to make sure that, like, I understand all of the issues that are going on, all the folks that are doing the work, you know, and that, like, and yeah, that I really know my family.
I believe that we are being taught a lie. You know, we're being taught that we are not all mixed in together, but we are your neighbors. We are here in your community. We have always been here. We will always be here.
I really feel like my job is to be with my queer family, doing what I can to protect and amplify voices that are already doing the work. And I'm just really grateful to Ymani for the work that she does for our family.
I guess I'd want folks to know that we're always moving forward and we're thinking about the most vulnerable people, even if they're not us, you know, to vote, to think about things that are in the best interest of the most underrepresented folks.
I think that is such an important message, and I think it really matters.
And you know, I'd also want folks to know that there is a long line of people that have been just like you. We have all been trying to do something to make your life a little bit better.
Oh my
God. We don't always see that, where our stories aren't necessarily told. Our history isn't in history books, you know? We have to hear that from other ways. And so we want these folks to grow up in a world where they can help make it a better place too.
Yeah.
There are so few people like me and like you doing these things. Our perspectives really do matter.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.